Good morning and welcome to the Keisha Podcast Show. Today we're going to be wrapping up the topic, embracing the journey. The other day I had asked for those that was listening to think about 50 things that they do on an everyday basis and how that applies to their lives. And as I sat here, I think about what is 50 things that I do every day, whether it's just by routine, whether it's because of my job, whether it's just random. And then I thought about it. Do you honestly do 50 things the same way every day? Is that possible? I'm pondering that for a second. And you know, that is possible. It is absolutely possible that you can do the same thing every day, the same way, and you can list 50 things. That's going to be in an upcoming podcast as far as the why behind why I wanted you to do that particular challenge. Today is Friday, and as you know, for most of my podcasts, they are live at the time of the recording. I love sitting outdoors, outside by my garden, listen to the birds chirping. It just gives me an opportunity to just kind of reflect. How many people take the time to just reflect on just life in general? You know, I've been in the fitness industry for, I guess, actively for about the last 11 years. 6 of those years I was a fitness ambassador. And as a fitness ambassador, you're supporting a brand, different brands. It's like being a collaborator, or an influencer, should I say. And that allowed me to just kind of see a whole lot of things in a different perspective when it comes to fitness. I've always been very, very active in that industry. I've always worked out. I've always, I guess it's just been something that I've did ever since I was in school. And then after I got out of high school, I've never stopped being physically active. I've always remained physically active. And so until this day, I'm still physically active. You know, and I guess that's kind of like a balance. When you start wondering and you're asking people, well, what do you do to stay active? What do you do to stay active? You know, I know people that play pickleball. I know people that play tennis. I know people that go play golf. You know, because there are recreational activities. You don't have to be playing a professional sport or college basketball, or college sports or anything like that to remain active, even after your college years, high school years, even after you become an adult. There's still many, many things that you can do to stay active. And that's what they define as recreational activities. You know, hobbies. You know, what do you enjoy doing? You know, when you get older, you don't have to, nobody's saying, oh, now I'm older and I'm 70 or I'm 80 years old or I'm in my 90s. I'm supposed to get out there and go play tennis. No, nobody's saying that. But I do know people that's in their 80s and they go out there and they go play pickleball, you know, racquetball. You know, you have golf, you have ping pong ball. Being active, there are so many things that you can do. Just if you went out and all you did was walk your dog, that's being active. You know, if you just went for a walk along the lake, along the walking trail, you went bike riding, those things are being active. That's active. If you ain't did that but 15 minutes a day, 15 minutes 3 times a week, 15 minutes once a week. That's being active. If you had a garden and you was outside working in your garden, that's being active, because you're doing something. And the reason why being active is important is because that gives you that mobility. The mobility. And when you get older, you have to think about the mobility in your body. Your body don't move the same as you age. But you want to keep your bones functioning. So in order to keep your bones functioning and to keep the strength as much as possible, you have to stay active. And staying active is just physically doing something that you love. Think about that. What are things that you enjoy doing? And that's what you do. And if it's something that as you get older that you can no longer do because you're just at their age, then what is something similar to that? I know people that like to paint. You got an easel, a paintbrush, you got paint. That's moving your arms because you're painting. You got finger paint, that's moving your, all those things is related to what? Being active. You might like to play chess. You may say, well, how is that being active? Have you ever played chess? You know anyone that plays chess? And the only reason why I'm asking it like that is because chess is a game. And what are games? Think about that for a second. Think about that, and as you think about that, think about your eating habits, the things that you eat. You can grill instead of fry. If you like to eat things fried, what about an air fryer? What about eating broad foods? Baked. There's so many things that you can do to substitute the good, change the bad into the good into extraordinary. It just takes one step at a time. Just one step at a time. It's about you remaining steadfast, immovable, and focused. And the only person that you have to be focused on is you. Because the only person that can help you be focused on you is you. You have to be dedicated in making any changes in your life that you feel you need to make. Because it doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what your doctor say. It doesn't matter what your friends say. It doesn't matter what a family member say. What matters is what you feel and what you choose to do. Because in order for the change to take place, it begins with who? You. And that comes with whom? Self. Self-love, self-discipline, self-respect. It all starts with you. I believe in respecting people's choices. And everything that we do in life, it goes back to what? Choices. It's all about choices. We make choices with the things we eat. We make choices in whether or not we choose to stay active. We make choices in our daily things that we do throughout the day. Everything is a choice. Because when you go back to those 50 things of what you do daily, how many of those things are you doing by choice? Think about that. And then when you think about that, how many of those things that you do every day will lead you to the path of longevity? Are they good choices, bad choices, in-between choices? Good habits, bad habits, okay habits? How many of those things that you do are that 50 that you saying that I do this every single day? How many of those things will lead you to the path of longevity? If right now, today, you was told that You've been doing this, you've been doing this, you've been doing that, and these things will lead you to the path of longevity. How many would pass that test? How many people would need to stop and reevaluate the things that they do and realize that they need to make some changes? Just think about those things. And then if you had to change anything out the 50 things that you listed, what would you change? What would be the first thing that you would change? Because in order to make change, you have to first realize that something needs to change. And the only person that can help you realize any changes that you need to make in your life is yourself. That starts again with you. That goes back to self-love, self-discipline, self-respect. So again, we're going to go back to those 50 daily things that we do every day. And we're going to start there. That's going to be your exercise. Just start there. Life is beautiful. And I want to see more people be able to live and see that beauty. We've been having so much going on in the world that sometimes we lose perspective on the things that brings that beauty, the things that bring joy, the things that bring love, the things that brings us peace, the things that brings us happiness. Because sometimes we get so caught up in the aspects of the world that we lose sight of that. When next time you go outside, just look at the beauty that this is what I am alive. I am a part of this day. The sky is clear. It's not cloudy. It's not gloomy. I'm able to walk. I'm able to see that beauty. Appreciate life. Appreciate that you can go out for a walk. Appreciate that you can make choices when it comes to the things that you eat, the things that you put into your body. I want everybody to know and understand that fitness and nutrition is probably the most two important aspects of daily life. You can't do one without the other. It's like they go hand in hand. If you don't stay active, then your body gets stiff. You start having back problems. You start having all kind of issues. Your joints stiffen up. You get arthritis. If you don't eat the right things, it can lead to high blood pressure, high cholesterol. And all those things can change if you did what? Monitor the things that you ate. Stay physically active. You see how the two go hand in hand? A lot of times we don't even think about that. We don't even realize that sometimes it's the little things that we do can lead to bigger things until what happens. How many times we may go for a yearly checkup and the doctor say, oh, everything looks good, just continue to do what you're doing. Oh, well, I see a slight elevation in this. How many people know they body, they numbers? How many people keep up with their health like that? That you actually know your numbers? I'm going to discuss that in our next podcast. Do you know your numbers? And why knowing your numbers and how it relates to your health and your body and why those things are important. My name is Keisha. Thank you for tuning in to this morning's podcast. This is Keisha, the podcast show. Share, subscribe, and listen daily. My message is simple. Better health, a better way of life leads to longevity. And longevity leads to a longer lifespan.
Embrace each day fully. And join me and embark on this amazing journey in taking back control of your health.